Hey there! Have you ever wondered why some people have big houses and others don't? Or why stuff at the store costs money? Or where money even comes from? Today, we're going to talk about something called the economy. And don't let that big word scare you. By the end of this, you'll totally get it. Ready? Let's go. Okay, imagine your whole neighborhood decides to trade stuff with each other. You're really good at making pizza. Your friend Maya is great at fixing bikes. Your neighbor, Mr. Johnson, grows tomatoes in his garden. So you trade pizza for bike repairs. Maya trades bike repairs for tomatoes. Mr. Johnson trades tomatoes for pizza. That's basically an economy. It's just people making things, selling things, and buying things from each other. Now, zoom way out. Instead of a neighborhood, imagine 335 million people doing that. That's America. That's the U.S. economy, the biggest in the entire world. Here's a funny question. Why does money even work? A dollar bill is just a piece of paper, right? So why will someone give you a sandwich for it? Because everyone agrees it has value. That's it. Money is like a trust system. The whole country, actually the whole world, agrees that a dollar is worth something. A long time ago, Americans used gold and silver as money. But carrying around heavy gold coins is annoying, so we switched to paper money and coins that represent that value. Today, most money isn't even paper, it's just numbers on a computer screen. When your parents get paid, nobody hands them a bag of cash. It just appears in their bank account as a number that goes up. Wild, right?
America makes money by making and doing things. Economists call this GDP, Gross Domestic Product. Don't worry about the fancy name, it just means the total value of everything America produces in a year. America's GDP is about $29 trillion. That's a 29 with 12 zeros. It's so big it doesn't even feel real. So how does America earn all that? 3 big ways. 1. Making stuff. Manufacturing. Things like cars, airplanes, medicines, computers, and weapons. America is really good at making high-tech things. 2. Doing stuff. Services. This is actually the biggest one. Services means doing things for people, like doctors treating patients, teachers teaching kids, programmers writing code, or McDonald's making your burger. About 80% of America's economy is services. 3. Growing stuff. Agriculture. America grows so much food, corn, wheat, soybeans, that it feeds not just Americans, but a huge chunk of the world, too. Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky, but stick with me. Let's say you want to open a lemonade stand, but you need $50 to buy cups, lemons, and a sign. You don't have $50. What do? You go to the bank and borrow it. The bank gives you $50. You promise to pay it back plus a little extra called interest. That extra money is how banks make money. They're basically renting you cash. Now imagine that on a giant scale. Businesses borrow money to build factories, people borrow money to buy houses, that's called a mortgage, the government borrows money to build roads and pay for schools. America actually borrows a lot of money. The government is currently about $36 trillion in debt. That means America owes $36 trillion to people and countries who lent it money. That's a big number, and a lot of grown-ups argue about it. Have you ever heard adults say things like, "The stock market went up today," or seen them nervously checking their phones? Here's what that means. When a company gets really big, like Apple or Nike, they let regular people buy tiny pieces of it. Those tiny pieces are called stocks or shares. If Apple does well and makes lots of money, your tiny piece becomes worth more. If Apple has a bad year, your piece is worth less. The stock market is basically a giant store where millions of people buy and sell those tiny pieces of companies every single day. When the stock market goes up, it usually means businesses are doing well and people feel good about the economy. When it goes down, people get nervous. You might notice your parents acting a little stressed. So if the economy is just people trading stuff, what does the government have to do with it? A lot, actually. 1. The government collects taxes. When your parents get paid, the government takes a percentage. That money pays for roads, schools, the military, hospitals for old people, and tons of other stuff everyone shares. 2. The government makes rules. Imagine if companies could do anything, like put poison in food to save money or pay workers 10 cents an hour. The government sets rules so businesses have to play fair. 3. The government spends money. Sometimes when the economy is struggling, the government pumps money in, like building bridges or sending checks to families. This is supposed to get money flowing again.
Why does everything keep getting more expensive? Here's something you might have noticed. Candy bars and video games cost more today than they did when your parents were kids. That's called inflation. Over time, prices slowly go up. Why? A few reasons. When the government prints more money, each dollar becomes worth a tiny bit less. When lots of people want the same thing and there isn't enough of it, sellers charge more. When it costs more to make something, like gas prices going up, stores charge you more too. A little inflation is actually normal and healthy, around 2% per year. It means the economy is growing. But when inflation gets too high, like it did a few years ago, a candy bar that cost $1 might suddenly cost $1.50. Everything feels more expensive. People get frustrated, and fixing it is really hard. America doesn't just trade inside its own borders, it trades with the whole world. Things America sells to other countries, exports, airplanes, movies, software, medicines, soybeans. Things America buys from other countries, imports, electronics, clothing, cars, oil, toys. When countries trade with each other, everyone can get things they're good at making and skip making things they're not. That's called free trade. But sometimes countries put up tariffs, basically extra taxes on imported stuff, to protect their own businesses. America and other countries sometimes get into trade wars over this, where each side keeps adding tariffs on the other's stuff. It can make things more expensive for everyone. Okay, let's zoom back out. Here's what you now know. An economy is just people making, buying, and selling things. Money works because everyone agrees it has value. America earns money through manufacturing, services, and farming. Banks let people borrow money, which helps businesses grow. The stock market lets regular people own tiny pieces of companies. The government sets rules, collects taxes, and sometimes steps in to help. Inflation means prices slowly rise over time. Here's the coolest thing about the economy. You're already part of it. Every time you spend your birthday money, do chores for allowance, or even trade snacks at lunch, you're doing economics. Every choice about money, save it, spend it, share it, is a tiny economic decision. The American economy is just 335 million people making those choices every single day. And someday, the decisions you make, what job you do, what you build, what you invent, might shape the economy for everyone else. That's pretty awesome. Thanks for watching. Now, go buy something responsibly.